You mentioned they don't fight each other. What's after Canelo? What can we expect?
At the end of this month, probably in the next couple, 3 weeks, we're going to sit down as a team and discuss what Tom has discussed with Eric and with Oscar to find out what it is that is possible on that front.
Would you guys go after a Sullivan guy that?
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of opportunities out there. Like the
ideally, who would you want?
Canelo.
Let's take Canelo out of the equation.
Whomever is willing to step up to the table. Listen, the only reason this Vanes fight was made because Vanes was reasonable.
Right, absolutely.
Okay? With the situation. Every time somebody fights Golovkin, they want lottery money. And sometimes it's just not possible. I know that you guys don't get to hear the numbers because it's none of nobody's business but Golovkin and whomever he fights. So when Saunders says he wants $7 million to fight Jacobs, well, that money's not there, man. So now that's to fight Jacobs. Imagine what he wants to fight Golovkin.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's all who. It's the guys that want to step up to the table and have that opportunity to fight for 4 belts or for the belts that will determine that. We can only do so much.
Well, that's the beauty about 360 Promotions. They're really the Sweden of boxing. They're pretty neutral about everybody. They're willing to work with.
Oh, we're willing to work with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody. It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's take Canelo out of the question. Who, as a trainer, I mean, you're really the guy that spearheads.
The best fight for me would be Murata right now.
Murata.
That's what I would want. Why? Because of the prestige in selling out of the arenas that he's doing in Japan. He's the one really that's trying to be somebody. Everybody else here in the U.S. is waiting for a payday.
Yeah, and I think most of us, maybe a lot of the media members, don't know who Murata is, and you know who he is.
Well, of course,
I know who he is.
He's a gold medalist who's a WBA regular champion right now. He's probably had about 14 or 15 fights, maybe 16 fights. But everybody here in the U.S., the guys that were mentioned, they're all waiting for a payday. Look, Derevchenko fought an 8-round fight against a guy that was 22-22 in his last fight. 2 weeks later, that qualifies him to fight Golovkin. That don't make any sense.
What if the IBF said that has to be next, though? Would you give up the belt?
What? That's something we have to sit down as a team and discuss, but I think that Tom made it clear that there's some issues that have to be resolved legally.
Yeah.
Their bylaws don't particularly say that, so when Ron and their attorneys or Pat Lynch and their attorneys get it ironed out, we'll know what the next step is.
Abel, is Murata, is he really as big a challenge as the Jacobs and the Saunders and the Charlos, though? Because you said that's the fight you want the most, but wouldn't those other guys be more challenging? I know you're saying they want the big paycheck, but
challenging. What people don't understand is that if Golovkin carries the show and they're asking for 50% of the money, that's kind of hard to do. It doesn't matter what the other guy is. If Jacobs and Charlo were to fight each other, or if they were to fight somebody, Jacobs looked terrible in his last 2 fights. Now, if he has a great fight, now we're talking again about interest. But if there's no interest and they're looking for lottery money, that's kind of hard to stomach for Golovkin anyway.
So do you feel like Charlo and Jacobs, they got to fight each other to earn a shot at the title?
Maybe go after Saunders, go after Derevchenko, go after some of those guys that are claiming to be at the top. Golovkin's not going to fight all of those guys. There's 5 or 6 guys that were mentioned. He's not going to fight all of those guys in 1 year. So they're going to have to eliminate each other somehow. Because we'll be talking about 3 years from now.
Who is the most difficult, though? Maybe not the biggest fight, but who's the...
They're all difficult, man. They all have their own. Derevchenko's got a great amateur career. Derevchenko's got similar style to Golovkin. He's not the puncher that Golovkin is, but Jacobs has already proven that he's a hell of a fighter. Charlo is ex-world champion at 154, so they're all difficult. But it's just the one that's not only more marketable, but the more incentive for Golovkin, the more that we have to gain as a team. He is 36 years old. It's not like he's just going to fight fights to fight. You know, this fight tonight, I know all of you are too young to remember, but Ray Leonard fought Bruce Finch, fought David Boy Green, fought Andy the Hawk Price. You know, all these fights happened. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for us. With the circumstances weren't the same. It was forced on us, but all those fighters had those kind of fights.
Right.
Bernard Hopkins had Antoine Eccles twice, Robert Allen 3 times. Come on.
Joe Lipsy.
Joe Lipsy.